Welcome to Ecstatic Yoga. I'm Grace. So happy that you are here. We have Sander in the house. Boy, he'll probably be around for the whole practice. Welcome to week 4 yin practice of the Ecstatic Yoga Teacher Training. I'm so happy that you're here. And a little review for week 4 is, as always, we're really focusing on self-love, and this week, focus on self-forgiveness. So one of the things that popped in my mind as I was, reviewing this week 4 was to think about something that you may have not forgiven yourself about, or you may still feel some unforgiveness, resentment, or beating yourself up a little about something that may have happened in the past that you did or you didn't do, whatever it might be. And then to think about someone you really, really love, a child or a parent or a partner, anyone you really love. And think about, if they had or hadn't done or had the same similar experience, and how you would forgive them, how you would want them to forgive themselves, and to bring that to yourself. Like, you're most important. The self-love is the most important. We're here as custodians of our own being and our own self first. Putting that air, oxygen mask on ourselves first, always. And then, of course, we have children, we have people we care for sure, whoever that may be. But we can give as much love as we have inside to give. And so this self-love is really for ourselves first, but it will benefit everyone in our lives, and self-forgiveness. And then we are on of the Patanjali's 8 limbs. We're the yama that we're on. So we've been going through the yamas, and we're on brahmacharya. And this is non-excess. And this can be physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. It's like, as I was, writing it down, brahmacharya today, I thought, I'm gonna clean out some closets this week to honor this brahmacharya, non-excess, letting go of all that no longer serves us. But it can also be emotional. It can be pain loops that we're ready to let go of. It can be resentments that we're ready to let go of. It can be conditioning and old patterning, reactive ways, maybe wounds or hurts, maybe something that it popped in my mind today when I was in 6th grade, and when I had a best friend for many years, I think since 2nd grade. We always went over each other's houses. We did everything. She was like my only friend. And she just one day made another best friend. And it hurt me really deeply. It was like a wound. And, letting that go and kind of looking at a different perspective. I mean, when I was in 6th grade, it's 11 or 12 years old. I mean, it was the end of the world. It was a rejection. It was all this stuff. But when you look at it from an adult, it's not personal at all. People change. She actually went down a route. She was doing drugs and hanging out with a new friend that was doing drugs with her. So our vibrations didn't match. I mean, and I found that out later. So I don't know if it would have helped to know anyways, but people change, and people, we all have our life paths, and we choose things. And sometimes we move into different locations, we change friends, we change jobs, or we're wanting to change, we're having different experiences. And sometimes when you have to let go of old friends, or the relationship changes a little bit, which is so natural in life, and we can't hold on. If someone moves, it changes, and we'll have to see how that goes. And, we always have the choice to call, write, and get together a couple times a year, however that looks. Or you don't feel the energy to maintain the connection. We have so much energy and focus and attention for our immediate life. And so we kind of know that it's not personal. It's not that that person wasn't a good person. It wasn't like I wasn't a good person or a good friend. But we might have taken it personally in the moment. And when we can have a broader perspective, we can let go of wounds and conditioning filters that no longer serve us. That's brahmachari, non-excess. So thinking about it, meditating on it, and contemplating it. So it's about to contemplate. You may do nothing. It doesn't know. Maybe things will just process and things will be releasing just naturally because you're focusing on this brahmacharya. And then we are on Dyarana, and I love Dyarana. This is the eight limbs. We were on Pratyahara last week, so we've been moving through. So the limb 1 is the yamas, 2 niyamas, 3 is asana, 4 is pranayama, 5 is pratyahara, and 6 is dharana. And this is concentration and single point of focus. And so we're going to be moving into this dharana through the 8 limbs. So we're not going to just sit on the mat and go right into single point of focus. Sometimes we'll do those mindfulness meditations where we just go right in there. But through this practice today, we're going to move through so that when we get to that place of dharana, instead of just jumping on the mat and focusing on one thing, when we move through this practice today, which we're going to be doing practices to really open, strengthen, stretch, and stabilize our back, to really relieve some back pain. These are back pain relieving postures, not all of them, but some of them are more in stretching, but they're all to support the back. But we're going to be moving through the limbs. So when we get to dharana, the single point of focus, we are in our pratyahara. We're coming from the place of pratyahara. We're moving through the limbs in the order that Patanjali has given us in yoga. And so we're going to be connected to this inner aliveness, connected to our body, connected to the energy systems and the pranayama. And then we move from pratyahara, we'll move into dharana. And this is our focus all week this week. So we're moving through the 8 limbs really beautifully, focusing on a week at a time to really focus on that limb and integrate it and work on it. And this week is your first Samadhi, I believe, embodiment, really focusing the Annamaya Kosha. And this is beautiful. So I hope you enjoy your first Samadhi this week. And I'm grateful that you'll be able to experience that. So let's begin our practice. Cassandра's okay there. So finding nice, comfortable position, seated position, and that could be easy. Sukhasana, easy seat. You could be in a hero's pose or maybe even a lotus. Find out what's comfortable for you. You may even be in Savasana right now, and that is perfectly okay. So find your comfortable pose here. And if you're in Sukhasana or lotus, find those sits bones and take a moment now to feel wherever your body's connected to the earth. And bring your attention to your breath, mindful breathing. And maybe even noticing as you breathe and bring your awareness to your breath that it lengthens a little bit, and it deepens a little, it's a little slower, more conscious. And then take a moment to drop the breath down to the lower abdomen. And really feeling that inhale as you expand the belly out. away from the spine. And then as you exhale, feel that navel coming in towards the spine. And again, the inhale, feel that belly balloon out, that navel move out away from the spine. And as you inhale, feel that navel coming in towards the spine as the oxygen, the prana, leave that lower abdomen. And breathing through the nose right now. And 3 more breaths like that, bringing total single point of focus. Practice a little Dyarana right now as I will be moving into it later, but all your attention on this breath. And moving into a 3-part yogic breath, inhaling into the belly, bringing it up like a wave into the ribs, feeling that rib cage, and then inhaling through the nose all the way up into the chest. And pausing here a moment, even the claviculars, a collarbone, and finding a release, whether it's just a release or you want to come down from the chest, the belly, the ribs to the belly. You can also go belly, ribs, and chest as you exhale. And continuing a few more 3-part yogic breaths on your own. Full focus using that Dyarana concentration. And one more 3-part yogic breath. Maybe try a different exhale than you've been practicing. And letting the breath relax, keeping the breath in the abdomen, deep belly breathing throughout the practice. We're training the body how to breathe correctly to trigger that parasympathetic nervous system and the relaxation response in your body, triggering those health-building hormones like serotonin. And take this time to begin bringing your focus to the physical body, noticing where your body is in time and space, really feeling those legs. Can maybe even make an adjustment with your body. Adjusting, put my opposite foot up. I'm in Sukhasana easy pose. I just adjusted and got my right foot on top, left foot on the bottom. But find an adjustment that works for you. Just notice this body 360 degrees. That's where the fingers and the hands are, the feet, the torso, the arms, the neck, the head, the whole body. Both legs, knees, pelvis, even the eyes, nose, and ears, fully embodied. And take a nice deep into the belly, moving into your pranamaya kosha, moving into pranayama, the breath. Just recognizing for a moment all those systems that are at work, that are invisible, that are non-physical, that are part of your body, that are your pranamaya kosha, that are, more eternal part of you, the part of the eternal part of you. The temporary Annamaya kosha is temporary, but the pranamaya kosha is an eternal body. Noticing those systems, the chakra system, the nadis, the meridians, pranavayas, and energizing them with your attention as you build a stronger pranic field within you. You can even engage your bandhas for a moment. Beginning with the Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, bringing the abdomen in and up. Jalandhara Bandha, chin comes parallel to the floor, comes in a little bit, and the tongue is on the roof of the mouth. As you seal these are the seals where the energy leaks out. So they're also called energy locks. We're going to lock them up so the energy stays in our body, inside our pranic systems, for our health and well-being, our vitality, our happiness, our contentment, our ability to live full and happy and joyous lives. And diving deeper inward into the inner being, noticing the inner aliveness, the movement, the flow, the pulsing, the vibrating, the tingling. You may even notice emotional charges, and just feeling them, that are good or bad or better or worse, just noticing whatever is charging through the inner being. Whatever sensations, emotions, vibrations, bringing all your full attention to it and withdrawing your attention from the external. And that includes the sounds around you and all of the obligations and commitments and responsibilities that may be on your mind, the worries, fears, letting them all go and withdrawing from that, the external world and all the busyness. There's lots of it. Just got to turn the TV on, just shutting all those TVs off for a moment, and all those channels of information, all those social medias, any thought about them, and just like the world can take a break. It's spinning around you. You know it's not going to go away. It'll be there. However, after spending some time inward, because the outer world is a reflection of our inner, so we spend time inward in pratyahara. As we move into samadhi states, when we move out, our world is always more organized, always a higher expression. And just basking in those inner aliveness, the heart beating, the pulsation of the heart moving through the entire body. It may just be a sense of vastness, or you may feel nothing. That's okay. Keep bringing your attention inward. Nothing is wrong. It's not any expectation, letting go all expectation, just bringing that attention inward. And we're going to move now into Dyarana. And I've chosen the third eye to focus our attention on. And that's just because a very strong part of my lineage is through Amrit Desai. And I started studying with him a long time ago in the 80s, in high school. So the focus was always the third eye. And the third eye is that Ajna chakra that's right between your brows and your eyebrows. And you can also go inward into the very center of the head and bring your focus there, into that center of your head. And keeping the bandhas engaged, and breathe through the belly with all your single point of focus on the third eye, Ajna chakra. And if your attention happens to wander off, like mine just already has, you are human and that's okay. And what we do is we just recognize that it's wandered. And the minute we recognize, with the greatest amount of kindness and compassion and love, yet firmness, we guide it right back to the third eye, the Ajna chakra, that single point of focused concentration. You'd like to hold a mudra, a hand mudra. It's always the chin where all the fingers are touching, fingertips and the tips of the thumbs, creating a closed circuitry with your energy field as you can bring that full focus to the Ajna chakra, the third eye. Couple more breaths with the full focus concentration on that third eye, Ajna chakra. Breathing out the nose. And I invite you to set an intention for yourself for this practice and be conscious about something that you really want, something that's beyond money. Maybe, what do you want with that money? A sense of confidence, sense of security. Do you want a beautiful home? Go right to the source of what it is that you would love to create. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want your book to be a best-selling seller. So make that intention right now. And I invite you to mentally rehearse for a few breaths, a few moments, and see yourself in the scene. If you're best-selling author, see yourself doing book signs, speaking, seeing your books flying off shelves, see that best-selling author award or what it looks like. And I invite you to do that now. And sending off that intention and all your mental rehearsal to the infinite, all loving universe with the this or better, your divine of your understanding, Holy Spirit, whatever it is. Here is my intention for myself in this moment, for this practice. And I send it off to you, universe. This or better, this or better, this or better. We all don't always know what's the very, very best for us. Sometimes we want things that may not even be good for us. But we do get confused at times, just like babies often want to put a fork in an electric socket. They think that shiny knife's fun, but sometimes we don't always know our highest best and know that there is a infinitely all-loving intelligence that can help us with the highest possibility for our intention. I'm taking a nice deep breath, coming back, and we're going to begin to make circles around our pelvis, pelvic circles. And I invite you to go nice and slow, and I want you to really bring your awareness, your single point of focus, towards all the little sensations as you go. And if there's sensations that you want to stay at, feel really good, or just feel a little, you just want to massage them, take a moment to stay there. Find it just a nice spontaneous movement. You might even begin to add some cat-cow into it. Make sure if you go one way around the pelvis, you go around the other way as well. And bringing that breath through the nose in the deep abdominal area from the deep belly. Have fun with it. It's your practice, your body. And allow yourself to get your shoulders and your arms into it, your head. Maybe there's something in your head that needs to release. Allowing this whole upper body to begin to open up in ways that feel good for you. You may look up at me for a second and might see something that might look like fun or might feel good and try it, or maybe just doing your own thing. We're really moving that upper body. Maybe trying something or a movement that you haven't done for a little while or you have never done. Expand the movement of your body into places that are a little unfamiliar, that are new. You want to lift those hips a little bit. Do that. Make circles. Keeping that breath flowing through your nose, deep abdominal breathing. And doing it as an act of self-love. This is your time for you. You get to be fully focused on yourself in your own body. And we're going to move into child's pose for a moment. Coming up onto the knees, And open those knees up a little bit so as you come back, you can rest the belly between the knees. The arms can be up front, they can be on the side, they can be on your back. You can have them curled up to make a pillow for yourself. And begin some gentle movements in your child's pose, or maybe you want to be still for a moment and just breathe. And find a little time in child's pose to move into these spontaneous movements that are just very subtle, very gentle. Maybe there's just a little feeling in your back that if you move a little way and massage it, it feels good. Keeping that breath flowing. And if you'd like to engage the bonds at any time, you can engage those bonds. And we start moving up just a little bit. Maybe up into table for a moment, just feeling that beautiful alignment, and then be making some circles in the hips and table, relaxing the head. Just taking a moment to be in your spontaneous movements in table, keeping that breath flowing. And whenever it feels right, the invitation, if you like, and it feels right to move into a nice up dog, and finding any spontaneous movements in your up dog. And spending a little time now just moving spontaneously through your up dog, your table, your down dog, and flowing back and forth spontaneously. Finding some enjoyment in the movements and ways that feel good in your body to move. Keeping that nice deep belly breath flowing. Those bandhas gently engaged, just a gentle engagement, awareness of them. So these three poses, child's pose, and table, and up dog, are all beneficial poses for the low back, the entire back. Child's pose stretches the low back and the hips. Up dog decompresses the spine. Also stretches and strengthens the abs, abdominals. We move into table and we move into a cat-cow. front and back of the body. Lengthen, stretch, strengthen. And we're going to come back to center here. Wherever you are, whether you're in a dog or child's pose, if we can come up into a table. I don't know about you, if you haven't already, to do just a couple cat-cows. So inhaling into a cow, as you arch the back, stick the tailbone out, inhaling, gazing up. Exhaling, we're going to tuck that tailbone and round the back. The knees are under the hips, the wrists are under the shoulders. As you come into your cat, you can even look in towards the thighs and the belly. Exhaling in cat, inhaling in cow. The fingers can be spread, bringing the weight evenly into the hands. And if you have wrist issues, you can have any of those little modifications coming up to the fists can help. Teacup. Stretching those fingers out, lifting the hand up a little can bring some relief to the wrists. And let's come back to center. And we're going to move into downward facing dog. So we're going to curl those toes under and lift those hips up. Moving into downward dog, lengthening the spine, relieving tension in the lower back. And breathe. You can move into some walking the dog. And beginning to just move a little spontaneously in your downward facing dog. Do what feels nice or good. Maybe moving into three-legged dog if you like. And if you get dizzy, coming up. And just coming down, straight down to the floor. Just another couple breaths in down dog. And bringing the knees down to the floor and moving into a child's pose and taking a few breaths in this beautiful child's pose. And bringing that single point of focus to the third eye, Dyarana. A couple more breaths in child's pose. Coming up. Third eye awakens our intuition, our buoyance, our connection to the divine and our spiritual higher selves. So we're going to move back into downward dog for a moment. And we're going to begin to walk the feet up till we're in a beautiful forward fold. And we're just going to be kind of a rag doll here. This is really good for the lower back, relieves a lot of tension. And you can grab the elbows. You can bring the hands behind the calves and bring your body a little closer in towards your legs, your upper body. You can bring the hands onto the small of the back.
You bring the hands to the floor. You can have a block here if you need. And we're just hanging in ragdoll, whatever that is for you, and making a couple movements, gentle movements here in forward fold. Keeping that breath flowing through the nose into the deep lower abdomen. Bond is gently engaged. You can shake the head out here. Gentle yes, no's if you want. Always being very careful of the neck. Always knowing you can always come down to the mat, into Savasana or seated. Never moving into pain. Beautiful. And then bringing the hands to the floor. And we're going to come and sit down into an easy seat. And we're going to move right into fire log. So we're going to go a wide leg pose here. So with this fire log pose, this is really good for our back, supports our lower back, but we don't want to, can open the hips, of course, this is a hip opener. Mostly, we don't want to go into the forward fold version of this pose. We don't want to go into that. We're just going to be moving into the lining up the legs and the hips and the ankles and stuff in the fire log pose. Especially if you're having any trouble with your back, we're not going to move into the forward fold. Okay, so I'm going to take my right leg. I'm going to line it up right with the front of your mat or just straight here. Then we're going to take the left leg. My left ankle is going to be directly over the left knee. And my left knee is directly over the right ankle. And I have a little space here. So sometimes you can put a little blanket under that if you like, if that feels better for you. I've been really trying to let it open. It actually kind of feels okay for us. I'm going to do that today because it's yin too. So that's a nice thing to do, especially with yin. We want as many props as we want. This is a yin asana. So we're going to flex the feet. Okay, beautiful. And inhaling, lengthening. We're not going to fall forward. Remember, it's inhale, lengthening the spine and feeling that beautiful loop, that skull loop, pulling you up to the sky, up to the heavens. So the lengthening of this whole torso is lengthening and training your body to continue to lengthen. If we don't do this, we become much shorter as we grow older. So making this an active pose for a moment as we sit in this fire log. And this is a real nice lower back support and hip opener. This is really good supporting your lower back. And engage those bandhas and breathe a couple breaths. One more breath. Beautiful. And then releasing top leg, bringing the legs out. And we need to even you out and go on the other side. So I'm going to bend this left leg. So it's have it just nice and parallel to the front of your mat. And then the right ankle lines up over the left knee. And then left ankle, the right knee is right over the left ankle. If you want to put that support in here. And inhaling as you lengthen, and then continue with a few breaths through the nose, in the belly. Nice belly breathing. Flexing those feet. Nice flex in both feet. Lengthening the spine. Nice gentle engagement of the bandhas. And one more breath here. Beautiful.
Beautiful. Just releasing that pose. Beautiful. Coming back into a child's pose for a few breaths here. And a few breaths in child's pose as we bring our single point of focus to that dhyana, that concentration, that single point of focus as the third eye, whether it's right between your eyebrows or between the eyebrows and directly into the center of the head. And one more breath here. And then the next inhale coming up. We're going to move into a malasana, seated squat. So here we have, and if you can't get those heels down to the floor, that's okay. You can be up on the toes a little, and as time goes by, you can eventually get that. But once you get it, it's actually a little easier to be on your flat feet in malasana. We're going to bring the hands in front of the heart in prayer position and press those elbows out a little bit. Beautiful. It's a seated squat. Releases tension in the low back. Engage the bandhas and breathe. Deep belly breaths through the nose. You can bring your focus to the Ajna chakra if you like. And one more breath. Beautiful job. Seated squat. And we're going to bring the hands down to the floor. And we're going to bring the knees down. We're going to come all the way down onto our belly, taking your time. And we're going to be coming onto the forearms. And the elbows are going to be right underneath the shoulders. Let's see, move back a little bit. So here we are. Elbows underneath the shoulders. Hands come straight out. Palms are down on the earth. And we're bringing the head and the upper body. The chest is open, coming up. And the backs of the feet are on the earth. This is our foundation. The knees are relaxed on the earth. The upper thighs are relaxed, the quadriceps. And even have the front of the pelvis. But the belly button is just on that line. It may be a little above. It may be right on the line. It could even be resting on the earth a little bit. And the rest we want to bring up. So find your pose. Engage those bandhas slightly. There's a gentle engagement, sealing those energies, those energy locks. We're bringing them and breathe. And you can bring your focus to Dhyana, that Ajna chakra in the center of your head or between your brows. Sphinx pose. Release tension in the low back. And a couple more breaths here. Feeling the foundation, feeling that alignment and that intention, relieving our low back. And we're going to, on your next inhale, you're going to come up and move into child's pose. Move into a nice full child's pose. So this is Sphinx is kind of a passive back bend. It's not a strong back bend, but that passive back bend engages the back and it creates a lot of spinal stability. And as you rest in your child's pose, oh, my earring came out. As you rest in your child's pose, bring that single point of focus to that Ajna chakra, that practicing that Dyarana, that concentration. So, few breaths. Beautiful job. And then on the next inhale, coming up, we're going to move into baby cobra. This is another back strengthener. So we're laying on our bellies, and we're going to bring the hands right underneath the shoulders. So they're just lying right up underneath the shoulders. This kind of feels, it doesn't feel comfortable on my belly. I may even take it off. So this is a really good back strengthener. You can do this every day for the rest of your life, and your back would absolutely love you. And if you have back issues, I would definitely practice this pose. The hands are right underneath the shoulders. The legs are out straight behind you. You're on your belly, and you're lower now. So I even have my breasts are on. Your chest can even be touching the floor for this time of setting up. So feel the foundation of the backs of the feet. You can feel some of the knees, the tops of the legs, the quadriceps, the pelvis is on the earth. And then using your back, not your hands so much, this is just to stabilize yourself, but using your back muscles on the next inhale, lifting your back gently up as you lift that chest off the floor. And find your baby cobra pose. If you need a break, always come down, engage your bandhas, and breathe through the nose. If you want to bring your focus to the third eye, Ajna chakra, practice your Dyarana. It's always an option. And one more breath here. And exhaling, coming down and bringing your head to one side or the other. It's taking a few breaths in relaxation here, receiving, absorbing the pose. Letting everything just surrender to the earth and relax for a few breaths. And if you'd like to practice Dyarana, single point of focus, Ajna chakra.
And then coming back to center, we're going to do one more baby cobra. Those hands right under the shoulders. And on your next inhale, lifting the upper body, lifting that chest and the heart, head, and breathe. Gentle engagement of Malabandha. Deep belly breaths through the nose. One more breath. And releasing down and moving your head to the other side for a few breaths as you just bask in complete relaxation. And if you'd like to practice Dyarana, focusing on your Ajna chakra. And next inhale. Beautiful job coming back to center. And we're going to move into one more belly down practice. I call it bird, airplane, locust. We're going to bring the hands to the side, out a little ways from the body, just gently. That tops of the feet are on the earth, knees, the quadriceps, the whole front body. And palms are down. On your next inhale, you're going to lift up the legs, the arms, the head, the chest, and find yourself in a beautiful locust pose. Nice balance. And breathe. Back strengthening. And one more breath here. And on the exhale, releasing down and bringing your head, if you can, forward. Bring in a nice little cushion with your hands, or you can have something to rest your head on, like a block. That can be fun. Some people like that. And we're going to take a few breaths here in locust. Out of time. Oh, wow. Okay. And focusing on that Ajna chakra. Beautiful job. And we're going to roll over onto our back. And we're going to be going a little over an hour today. We're going to come by. We're going to do a nice complete practice. So we'll try to end up with the right time. So extending that left leg out, coming up onto the left hip, bringing the right knee over, bending the knee, allowing that left hand to help guide the right knee over. And find your beautiful twist. Feel where it feels perfect and comfortable for your body with that gentle playing the edge, taking that right arm out 90 degrees. And we never force, we never push or strive the body. We always allow it to open. And turning the head to gaze out over the right fingertips. I can adjust my hips just a little. Making any little adjustments you may need to do in the shoulders, the hips, legs, the arms. And rest into the pose for a few breaths. Noticing the beautiful sensations in the body, the opening. It's really good for the back. And bringing your focus to Dyarana, that third eye, Ajna chakra. Nice deep belly breaths. And one more breath here. And moving over to the other side. The right leg is straight out, coming up onto that right hip a little as you bend the left leg, bringing the left leg over to the right hand guiding the left leg over, both shoulders on the earth, and then left arm is straight out and turn the head to gaze out over those left fingertips. Deep. And relaxing in this pose, making any little adjustments you need, where we take several breaths and hold the pose. Bringing your focused attention to that third eye, Ajna. And one more breath. Beautiful job releasing the leg. Sorry, Xander. And coming onto your back. And moving into a little bit of spontaneous releases. Maybe moving into some hula. Combining with a little hip pointing or cat-cow, supine. Feeling what really feels good for you in your body as you prepare your body for Savasana. Just any little releases, maybe bring the knees into the chest, releasing, relaxing that lower back, finding what feels good for you. And gently, and when you're ready, moving into Savasana pose. You may need a blanket over you or some socks. And making any last adjustments you might need. Be nice and comfortable in your Savasana. Noticing the breath in your belly, the physical body connected to the earth. secure, safe, supported. That breath in the belly, that aliveness, all activates all those prana bodies. Diving into the Manamaya Kosha, Pratyahara, diving into the innermost part of your being, feeling fully all the energy charges, emotional, static, true nature. And finding that single point of focus, that Ajna chakra, right between the eyebrows, that goes into the very center of the head. And take this Savasana practice today, little mini Samadhi, as you allow your mind to move into Dyarana, Dhyana, from Dyarana moving into Dhyana, pure meditative awareness, which knocks on the door of Samadhi to open up to at any moment. And we'll have a little bit longer relaxation as we rest in Samadhi, Dhyana, Dhyana, Samadhi, pure meditative awareness. And I will bring you back. On a focus, Dyarana. Dyarana, Dyarana, meditative flow of awareness. Samadhi, everything, everywhere, everything, nothing, everywhere, nowhere. Releasing any Dyarana, any concentration, and bringing your awareness into Pratyahara, and aliveness. Taking a nice deep breath into the belly. Moving into your pranamaya kosha, pranayama. Deep belly breaths. And feeling that body resting on the earth. Where your body's connected to the earth, that foundation. Body's foundation with the earth. Now your weight being supported. Maybe even able to relax and release a few more muscles. And beginning to wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. Let's get into the muscles now and stretch the body. Stretching out, sitting in the body and beginning to roll over to one side or the other. Noticing all the shifts of the energy, the body, the physical, the organs, the fluids. Taking a breath or two here. Take a few breaths here. 5 or 6. Allowing the energy to flood into your body, the prana, the life force from this yin practice. Receiving and absorbing all the intelligence. Prana. Deep relaxation, bandhas are relaxed, muscles are relaxed. The mind, the nervous system is relaxed. And a couple more breaths here, receiving the posture, the practice. Nice, slow, deep breaths. And when you're ready, coming up to a seated position. Finding a nice, comfortable seat. You want to practice a hand mudra, you can do that. Chin, akini. All the fingers are touching, the thumbs, chin, resting on your lap, thumb, and finger resting. That's the most common. And take a moment now to scan your body, noticing the sensation in your body, the aliveness, the physical body, feeling where it is in time and space, connection to the earth. Deep belly breaths. The gentle engagement of the bandhas. And checking in with the energy body, and vitality. And moving into Manamaya Kosha and Pratyahara, noticing the mental, the emotional, the inner aliveness, these deeper aspects of ourselves, bringing our full awareness there. Love and support, no judgment, total equanimity, being the neutral observer of our own selves, with great self-love. Sometimes that Manamaya Kosha, that Pratyahara feels very vacant and empty. And bask in that brilliance. Maybe it's surging with sensations, emotions. Bask in that. It's all the same, it's all one. Feeling it fully, neither good nor bad, right or wrong. Fully present. Pushing nothing away. Receiving it all. Moving into our Dyarana one more time as we bring our focus to that third eye, Ajna chakra, concentration, single point of focus. The full breaths, bandhas engaged. Releasing the concentration into meditation and allowing Samadhi, allow Samadhi to bless you by grace. Or maybe rapture meditation comes more naturally. I'm going to let a little rapture meditation come for me. I allow your brilliance and intelligence bring you to a perfect experience for yourself. I will bring you back.
Gently and kindly beginning to come back. And we'll conclude with Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, light, truth, and peace. When I am in that place in me, and you are in that place in you, we are one. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me, Ecstatic Yoga Studio. Wishing you a most beautiful and most blessed day.